Good morning, Kolkata. I know that besides Kolkata, there are many other cities listening to me right now. Alright, so let's move on to the last part of episode 14. So when Sulang sits down with them, he takes a cigarette from his pocket and lights it. Then Biping Yu asks, "Can I know why you invited Fanzao here today?" Biping Yu smiles and says, "Oh, so you didn't come here to meet us, right? You probably found out somehow and that's why you came to save your lover, right? That's why you used the surname Fan before coming in." Sulang says, "Let Fanzao come first and then you'll find out." Biping Yu gets angry and says, "You still want to protect the person who did all that to you." Sulang quickly says that his friends are waiting for him, so he'd appreciate it if he let him go. But Biping Yu smiles and says, "If you're here, we're not going to let you off so easily. That day you gave Fanzao 10 minutes to hit me, right? So why don't you give me a chance today? Just 10 minutes so I can hit you." Sulang realizes that it's going to be very difficult for him to escape. Sulang accepts and gives him 10 seconds. Biping then orders a man to approach Sulang. The man manages to grab his collar and hit him, but Sulang throws a drink bottle at him. Biping angrily asks him, "Why did you stop him? You said you wouldn't let yourself get hurt." Sulang replies, "Yes, I did, but I didn't say I wouldn't protect myself." Then Biping angrily rushes towards him and punches him hard. In the next scene, it's raining outside. Just as Sulang steps out of the taxi, gathering himself, he steps onto the road. Fanzao approaches him from behind. "What happened to you, Sulang?" Sulang follows behind and asks, "Why didn't you answer my call?" Fan had a big umbrella with him. He quickly takes Sulang's hand and leads him under a shelter. "Why didn't you answer my call? You said you'd appear in front of me whenever I call you, so why was your phone off?" Fan tells him that Pingyu was calling him repeatedly. He was feeling very irritated. That's why he turned off his phone. "But why did you call me?" Sulang releases his hand. Then walking away in the rain, he says, "Nothing. I just accidentally touched your number." Fan quickly grabs Sulang's hand and pulls him towards himself. Then, hunching over, he says, "No, it can't be an accidental touch. You haven't called me in a year, and it's impossible to just have an accident today. Tell me what's wrong." Sulang tells him that he's feeling very stressed today, so he just wants to go home and rest. He wanted to leave, but Fan held him against the wall. Looking at Sulang's face, he understands that he's in pain, but he still doesn't say anything. That's why Fan keeps asking him what's wrong. Will he tell her anything? But Sulang was in so much pain that he couldn't control himself anymore. He just wanted to leave. Seeing him remain silent, Fan asks him, "Was it a dare? That person came to drop you off, but leaving you like that in such heavy rain, does he have any manners? And Sulang, do you think that person is right for you?" Sulang tells him, "Don't talk about manners in front of me. If anyone in this world has the least manners, it's you. I don't want to bring up the past before I get angry and lose my patience. Get out of here." Fan says, "Okay, if you don't tell me, I'll find out for myself who that person was." Sulang takes the umbrella from his hand and takes a step forward when he receives a call. He quickly answers the call, and on the other end of the line, Jobyun says, "President Yu, are you okay? I found out that Biping Yu hit you. I wanted to take your call, but that stupid junk stopped me." Sulang couldn't say anything. Before he could, Fan snatches the phone from his hand and asks, "What? What did you say? Who did Biping Yu hit?" Finishing the conversation, he hands the phone to Sulang, controlling his anger. "Does your injury hurt a lot?" Sulang says, "No, I went to see a drama. I wanted to see how someone can control a person like you, how someone can play a game with a person like you. I felt better after seeing all this." Fan says, "I know you. You went to see this, didn't you? But now go take a hot bath, you'll feel better. I'm going back now. You go home and rest, okay?" Sulang says, "He didn't hit me hard, so don't go looking for him. This isn't a session. If you go to fight with him, it'll create another problem, and I don't want any new drama." Fan comes closer and says, "Don't worry, he has to take everything back." After saying this, as he was about to leave, Sulang stops him. "I told you, I'm not God. I've thought bad things about you many times. I've thought of getting revenge on you 1,000 times. And now that Piping You has no right to take revenge on you because you're both the same." Then he grabs her hand and says, "You know, when she told me I have no value, for a moment I thought, yes, I am a cheap person. I'm a joke to others, and that's why I don't want any more problems. So please stop and don't create any new problems." Fan Xiao stood silent. Then he hugs Sulang tightly, rests his head on her shoulder and says, "No one is worthy of this. Only you can get revenge on me, Sulang. I'm requesting you to get revenge on me. You can do whatever you want, and I won't even utter a word. I'll listen to everything you have to say. But since he hurt you, he has to make up for it. But don't worry, I won't cross the line." Sulang pushes him away and starts walking towards his apartment, muttering to himself, "But why should I worry about you?" He heads towards his room and Fun follows him worriedly until he finally goes inside and finds peace. Meanwhile, Sulang, unable to close the door, tells him, "Sulang, I just want to see your injury once so I can get some medicine. Let me just take a look, then I leave." Sulang enters and sits on the couch, and Fan follows. He begins making hot water and tea for her. He brings clean clothes from the closet and approaches her, telling her to take a shower first. Sulang nods and slowly walks towards the bathroom. Fan follows. Sulang turns back and looks at him. "I just want to see your injury once." Sulang goes in, and so does Fan. Then he unties her dress. Her skin was very fair, making the bruise appear even deeper. Fan touches her bruise and asks, "Are you in a lot of pain?" Sulang replies, "No, it's fine. You saw what you wanted to see. Now you can go." Fun lowers his eyes and says, "I'm sorry. I'm a terrible person, aren't I? I always hurt you. If I'm not around, you won't get hurt. Do you need my help? I want to help you one last time." Sulang slowly walks up to the back table and sits. Fun looks at the mirror, takes a deep breath, then turns and starts walking towards the door. Just then Sulang calls out, "Didn't you say you'd help me?" Fun slowly turns towards him. "All right, I'll be back soon with episode 15. See you soon."